Hey guys, Duda 2, and continuing on with my goban creating series. I'll show you guys what I did, and I'm really digging it, but it is a lot of work. I've tossed around the idea of how I'm going to get some indented lines on this board, and I tossed around the idea of wood burning. I even tried the katana roll, but the wood was too hard. And then I come up with the idea maybe I could just kind of indent it with a knife of some kind. And so I tried it on this other piece of wood, you know, over here, made of the same stuff, and it worked pretty good. It wasn't too hard. So I've been working on it, and I have it about 3/4 of the way done, and I wanted to show you guys what I did, how I did it, and you know, give you a step-by-step process of how I'm doing it, and a good efficient way of doing it kind of fast, because I've been doing it real slow and I figured out a way to speed it up. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. Basically, my two wood burn lines, I think I mentioned before that I would burn the center lines because I wanted a solid line to go off of. You don't want to measure from the outside in case your piece of wood isn't perfectly squared or rectangular, like mine isn't. I cut it very slightly off. So what I had to do is I found the center of the board and I got my measurements from there, and then I went out, and this way the border at least is going to be, it may be not the same size like this, which it wouldn't be anyway, but it may be quite a bit off, but at least it'll be the same on both sides. You won't have one border big on one side and one tiny on the other, right? At least it'll be the same size if you go from the center. So what I did was I went around looking at some of the different blades I had, and I come across this, it's a hunting knife, camping knife. This one happens to be Winchester, but it has a bit of a thicker blade to it. But it's made of good quality stainless steel, and it has good grippers for my fingers, and it allows me to stick my thumb or finger here, and I have a good degree of control. Okay, that's kind of important. You don't want some huge knife where you won't have a lot of control. You want probably a smaller blade, and you could stick your finger on top. I'm guessing you could probably use a I guess a regular construction knife, like a box cutter thing or something like that, but that blade's really skinny. Plus it'll cut deep into the wood, and I don't think it'll make a nice pretty cut. It'll be like really rough, but a nice rounded blade like this tends to, I think, make a nicer line. I've tried a couple different lines, and something like this would work. I wanted a thicker line, but I didn't want it, you know, super thick or anything like that. So what I did was, first thing you want to do is go around the borders. Okay, you don't want to make a mistake of going or drawing a line into your border, right? Because then when you're all set and finished, everything will be good, and you'll have like some ugly lines going into the border of your board. You don't really want that. So what I did to prevent that was I took some tape and I taped around the borders. Right, I'm going left to right now, so I don't want to go over my borders. Kind of a nice sized border on this side, so I taped. And this, I know that if I'm coming close to the end and I see the tape, I know to stop pressing down so hard and get it right to the edge and stop. Okay, so once you tape your borders up, we already made our marks with our compass, right? So what I've been doing, because I got this half done, and then I'll show you the how cool it looks. It looks really cool. But all I have left are these 9 lines this way. So what you want to do is you want to flip it so that you go this way. And I recommend starting from the center because it's the most difficult, and it gets easier the closer you get to you. Get your ruler, and then you have 2 clamps here. You're going to let it, now this first one's going to be a little tricky, right, it's going to want to wobble like this. So my tip for that is to go on the side of the table, right? So you get it to where the lines look like they're pretty good. And then you clamp them. Not too tight, just a light clamp. And then you do the same with this one. You go to where it looks like it's pretty good, and then you clamp it. And then what you do is you're going to take your knife and you're going to set it in the line. Alright, so let's see. Hopefully it's not. Yeah, maybe. There you go. So, does this look like where the line is? No, so it needs to be tipped a little. So you tip it. That looks pretty dead center. Then you tighten this. Then you go over here and you look. And say, is this where the line is? No. Then you tamp it. Move it on over. And then you check it again. No, it needs to go a little more. Alright, that looks good to me. Tighten her up. Tighten her up again. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to want as much control as possible. So hold it as far up as you can. And you, of course, it goes without saying, you want to be careful. Okay. Of the different methods I tried, this seems to be the one that affords the most control. Move it so that it's on the table as far as you can be, so you're not wobbly. You want to start on the center line. You want to make sure that you are pushing against the ruler the whole time, because if at any time you're not, your knife will wander like this and it'll give you an ugly line. I've already had one wandering line. And then you keep steady, continuous pressure. You don't have to go crazy. Keep it nice and steady, and you want to stop at your tape. And you got yourself a nice line. And I'll do one more just to show you my little tip for moving at a pretty decent speed. Just kind of loosen it up. But leave it on. Loosen it up. But leave it on. Slide it over. Get it to where it looks good. Tighten a little. Get it to where it looks good. Tighten a little. And then same as before. But look, and you notice that, you start to get a little better. You kind of see what works good and what doesn't. And some of these lines are going to be very difficult to see because depending upon your wood stain, pencil markings doesn't really show up very good. You really don't want to be off on this either. You want to be sure that you got it pretty good on. Now this is going to kill your arm. My arm's been killing me. So, and then if you'd like, if you're still a little eerie, just very gently, just follow the line. Make sure it's following your pencil mark nice. Following your pencil mark nice. Then you know you're ready to go. Hold it as far up as possible. As much control as possible. Make sure these clamps are down tight. You're going to go from the line straight over. I would do all of these right now, but it makes for a pretty boring video, and I'm not all up on doing the stop motion, just to show you. So I'll stop here, but I want to show you kind of the project. You can kind of see, that I still need to do these lines, but the indents are looking very cool. Tell me that isn't cool looking, right? And you could see like these lines. See how these ones are going down, and then you got some going across here, but not on this side. Like, yeah, it's coming out pretty good on the camera, I think. But I mean, tell me that looks cool, right? So here's the plan for the rest of how I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to finish putting, obviously I'm going to finish doing the lines for the knife, and then after I get all these lines on, I'm planning on covering up my pencil marks, which are kind of off, and maybe some small little dings and lines, with one more layer of wood stain, as light as I could possibly put it on. Hopefully that'll cover up all my pencil marks and any nicks and things, and I'm hoping that these lines still show. And then with the slight wood stain on top, I'm hoping on going on and very gently, maybe with a scribe or something, just digging these lines out just so the wood stain is out of the lines. And then I'm going to go in with my paint pen and just put my ruler to it one more time, make sure the pen fits right inside the lines, and then just mark the lines. And I'm hoping you know, any little imperfection or mess up that I may have done will be covered by the layer of wood stain, and hoping I could start fresh. Plus it seems like every time I put on a new layer of wood stain, it really helps you know, make the board just look more and more beautiful. So as of right now, it's going alright. You can still see there are imperfections in the stain, and I think that's just IKEA's process of, like, if you look here, you can see squiggly lines going this way and different, you know, yeah, you can see like this dark line going here. That has nothing to do with anything I did. So and if you're going to be more of a perfectionist, I guess maybe find a better piece of wood or go to a lumber yard and get something that's pure and not manufactured already. But this is what I'm going with for the video. So, and this is, I'm guessing I might make one more in my life, because this was a lot of work. It's taken a couple weeks, but it's pretty. So that's about it. If you have any questions, comments, thanks a lot for your comments and opinions. They've been very helpful, and hopefully you guys, you know, think the knife idea is pretty cool. Let me know what you think. Alright, you guys, have a good one. Later. Hey guys, this is a Dude It 2 and part 8 of my goban series. I believe it's part 8. Well, here it is. This is my stained goban. As you can see, there are a couple bits of discoloration, but it really turned out pretty good. Not very bad at all. This is the red maple stain. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. You can see there are little spotches of, I guess, slightly different patterns, but all in all, I mean, I think it looks beautiful, and I don't have a problem with the discolorations. I think it kind of adds character to it. This is the original color, and not very pretty, right? I'm thinking of maybe throwing on one layer of stain of this just to kind of darken it up a bit, but you can't tell when you set it down. So here's the kind of give you a look of the lines that are kind of traced on there. Okay. So here's the thing. Next step in the process. This is what I'd like to do, and hopefully it all works out well. This last coat, I ended up putting on 2 coats since I talked to you guys, because the coloration just wasn't quite right. But I got it to where I'm happy. But the 2 coats kind of covered up some of these lines so that they're barely indented. What I'd like to do is I'm going to take a sharp object. I'm going to dig out these lines, dig the wood stain out of the lines, and then when I get the wood stain out of the lines, I'm going to take my paint marker and fill them in. So this is what I'm going to be doing between this video and the next video. I'd like to use something that's not very sharp, because I don't want to actually add new cuts. I just want to dig out the old cuts, and I'd like it not super skinny either. You know, I'd like it because these are pretty thicker lines. So I have my knife I used before. I'm gonna give that a shot, and I also found an old letter opener that's not really sharp at all, but it's kind of pointy, and so I'm hoping that I can trace these lines and dig them out. And what my thinking is, I want to go around the edges first, and then once I go around the edges, you know, do these main lines that I did that were wood burned, that are just going to be a little thicker than the rest, and then dig them out. I'm going to try to dig them out by hand first. It looks like I'll be able to. Shouldn't be a problem. I didn't know if I would need a ruler or not, so I might just end up just doing it by hand. But if I keep slipping out of the lines like I just kind of did, you know, I don't want to scratch it up. So once I get the lines on and it looks good, we're going to put the star points on in another video, and then I'm going to coat it either with polyurethane or with a traditional wax protective coating, or maybe a combination of both. I don't know. I haven't researched it yet. I haven't gotten that far. But I wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on. So I'm going to, I guess, by the time my next video is out, I should be in the process of, yeah, see, I already slipped out of the lines and put a little scratch on it. So I'm going to, one at a time, put the ruler on, clamp it, scrape it down. This is just what I got to do to make it look good. So I don't want to bore you with the step-by-steps of this, so, but we'll call this an update video, and giving you a hint of actually what I'm doing. And then by next video I should have either have the lines on or have some of the lines on, and I'll maybe finish up with you guys so I don't, you know, bore you too much. And then we'll talk about finishing. But this is you guys wanted to see what it's starting to look like. It's starting to look pretty nice. Again, I'm not a carpenter, but a little bit of patience and time. And because I'm recording all this, it's forcing me to slow down, right? Because I can't do it all at once and just get it done like I do everything else. So it's forcing me to do a better job. So that being said, that's it. Thank you guys for continuing to watch. Thank you for your comments, compliments, criticisms, critiques, and advice. You guys have given me a lot of good advice in this process and make me feel a little more confident and comfortable with my poor carpentry skills. So glad you guys think I'm doing okay, and hopefully when I'm done with this board it turns out to be pretty darn good. That's about it. Thanks guys. Onward to the next video. Let's finish this up because I've been learning a lot of neat Go stuff I want to share with you guys. So hopefully I'm not like losing people who's like, get done with this stupid board already so I could learn some Go. It's coming. Maybe one more week. I'm hoping to have this finished. I'm hoping to have this finished by the weekend so that I'll do my last video on it and show you guys. And then I want to take it to my Go club and play on it and see, you know, do a little review, and then I'll do my first video on whatever the new thing is on the new board. That's the plan anyway, so hopefully that works. Sorry about just yapping with anything without anything productive on it. So I'll see you guys next video. Thanks again.